Hi, welcome to this week's Fundraising Friday. This week we're talking about generational differences in how they prefer to give and how they prefer to hear from you. If you're treating all of your donors and prospective donors homogeneously, as if they all have the same desires, you are missing out on opportunities and you are missing reaching people. So, what do I mean by that? First of all, as you might expect, older donors tend to give more. And we tend to then focus on how we reach out to our donors, looking at what our older generations are interested in. But that leaves a lot of younger people who are actually very philanthropic and who want to make a difference in their community, not hearing you or not receiving your information. So let me be specific. First of all, we've got the silent generation. Those are people who were born 1945 or earlier. They are the most generous. They have the most wealth. They also prefer the most traditional means of communication. You're going to reach them with a letter, with a phone call, with a personal one-on-one meeting. So if you've decided that for budgetary reasons, you are no longer going to be sending snail mail, you're going to be leaving a lot of your oldest, most generous donors uninformed of what you're doing. Baby boomers, on the other hand, people born between 1946 and 1964, like a mix of traditional and digital media to reach them. So they like the snail mail, but they will also respond to email and other types of digital communication. Again, if you are cutting out your snail mail, you're going to miss this generation as well. Generation X, those people born between 1965 and 1980, like to volunteer their time more than their money. These are people who are in the wealth accumulating stage of life. They may have a family, they may have kids in college, they may be paying for weddings. They're at that accumulating and consumption stage, which means they don't necessarily have a lot of discretionary income, but they are very generous with the discretionary income that they do have. Getting them engaged with your organization as volunteers are really good ways to have them ready to make donations and significant donations when they are ready and able to do so. They are comfortable with technology, but this generation actually prefers more established channels like email. So that's the best way to reach them. Millennials, on the other hand, people born between 1981 and 1966, again, incredibly generous. 60% of people in this generation tend to give to charity. Their gifts are smaller, as you might expect, because again, they are more in the wealth accumulating and family building stage of life. They prefer, again, volunteer opportunities, hands-on opportunities to really get to know an organization, and prefer digital and social media as the ways to reach them and to ask them to make a donation. This is the generation, they probably don't even check their mail. They might go weeks before checking their mailboxes. So make sure that you are not only sending them a letter, especially if it's time sensitive because they may not ever receive it, but that you are also reaching out to them using digital means. Then we've got Gen Z. Gen Z are people who have been born since 1997. They like inclusivity and sustainability in their giving. They prefer social media and digital platforms. And if you think that the previous generation didn't check their mail, these folks definitely don't. So make sure you are reaching out to them through those kinds of digital platforms. They tend to, again, value volunteerism and advocacy more than the older generations do. So find a way to get their hearts and minds engaged in your organization, and their wallets will follow. That's this week's Fundraising Friday. Thanks. Have a great weekend.